So the Supreme Court just ruled that individual judges, individual federal judges, do not have the right to give nationwide rulings or apply nationwide bans on individual rulings, and that instead it should be on a class action type status. So like with the birthright citizenship, the people that they find that are going to be affected by this law, they need to include them in a class action, and then you can ban it that way, but you can't put out a nationwide ban. I'm going to be real. This doesn't sound like a man who's giving up his seat in 2028. Now, why did this happen? Because Trump is going after the birthright citizenship. So in response, judges put in a nationwide ban on the ruling, saying that it was unconstitutional, and asked the Supreme Court for an emergency hearing. Usually the Supreme Court does not hear emergency cases because they run on daytime. But in this case, they did, and they ruled in favor of Trump. So I have a question for Black Americans who think that this ruling does not apply to them. If America could go back and change anything in the course of American history, what is that thing that you think that they would do? Because I have an answer what I think they would do. One, annihilate the Native American community so they don't exist today. Because colonization works much better if you destroy the native indigenous people of the land, because then you can always pretend that you are on the land. And two, they would never give y'all rights. They would never give y'all citizenship. They would write the law in such a way to make sure that you specifically would not have access to citizenship. Because if you have access to citizenship, that means you have access to respect, access to dignity, access for them to treat you like a human, and they would never do that, so they could continue to subjugate you. They may have let you one free, meaning they don't necessarily own you, but definitely would have still kept a lot of the black codes, the whole sharecropping thing. Things would have been structured very much differently, that even though you're free, you're really not fucking free. So I ask you, when Trump is coming after this law, do you really think that you will be safe? Do you think it will just be Latino people who will be sent away? Or do you think it will be just Latino people who will be stripped away of their citizenship? Do you really want to run that bet?